Hi. I've had a running commentary with my dog since I adopted him 2 years ago. When I adopted him 2 years ago, he was neutered, and what this means is that his testicles were removed so he could not reproduce. So at times, especially lately, when I first got him, he was very skittish, needless to say, and it took him a while to adjust. And I would say, dog, I'm going to find you some nuts so that you'll stop acting like a bitch, because you're not a bitch. There will be no bitches living in my house. So that would be the thing with the spazoid moments of bitchness that occurred. I'd say, dog, I'm going to get you some nuts. Needless to say, I was walking my dog last night, and we were going down a path through the woods, and I saw this thing laying in the middle of the path, and I stopped to inspect it. My dog, like usual, was walking behind me because he's a bitch and he doesn't like people walking behind him, so he's always crawling up my ass. And I stopped to inspect this thing in the middle of the path, which looked like a little round brown ball. I was thinking, that's a poo. That's a turd. So I bent over to inspect it, and my dog, of course, ran around me real quick, with his tail in between his legs, and ran off. I was like, what a bitch, dog. So I picked up the thing in the path, and luckily it wasn't a poo. I was looking at it, it was a nut of some kind, and a perfectly round brown shell with a little discolorated nipple looking thing on it. And I was like, dog, I found you a nut. It's for you. So I threw it after him, and he kept running. I was like, that's too bad, dog. You should have held on to that. Then I would have only needed to find you one more nut, and you would have been fixed. And then I had to laugh, because I got to thinking, I was like, if you had a pair of nuts for nuts, I bet the squirrels would be really friendly with you. You might not like that all the time, little squirrels trying to eat your nuts. And I was like, hey, dog, let me ask you a question. Do you think that the squirrels would leave you alone? Do you think they'd try to eat your nuts if you had a pair of nuts for nuts? And he wasn't fucking listening. He was just fucking whatever he was doing, and walking down the path. So I had a good laugh, and I thought that I'd share this anecdote with you. Imagine if you had nuts for nuts. I would think that if I was a squirrel, I might try to bury these. What would you do? That is the question.